Welcome Libra to your Clash of the Malefics 28-year cycle deep dive video for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon across the 19th or 20th of April this year, depending on where you are. Mars, the planet of action and desire, meets with Saturn, the planet of limitation, in the sign of Aries, an exact conjunction for the first time since 1998, a full 28 years ago. In traditional astrology, Saturn is said to be the greater malefic and can be unfortunate. Mars, on the other hand, is the lesser malefic, but can be about aggression, frustration, and anger. If we put the two together, they're very different energies, and particularly Saturn in Aries, where it's in its full, so it's at its weakest point in its entire journey. What we can create is a very challenging energy, which can see our frustration come to the fore very much more quickly. But we can navigate this, and it can have some qualities too. I'm going to unpack all of this for you, Libra. By the end of the video, you'll have a clearer understanding around your energy, work, relationships, and finances, but also give you the chance to download your Mars Conjunct Saturn workbook with all the mythology, astronomy, astrology, and planetary influences in full. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive. But please also do click or tap the bell notification symbol. So on the screen, Libra, is your event chart when they become exact. But we're feeling this energy very strongly now. And if you have been a little bit exasperated about someone being grumpy, defensive, not very collaborative or cooperative, very much seventh house themes, it wouldn't be a surprise. But astrology often characterizes the seventh house as relationships, but it's really too about our boundary, and it can also be about where we connect with other people, where we need to be competitive, perhaps at work. It can also be where we can enjoy competition, perhaps through badminton, squash, and so on. But Mars in the seventh house can be very feisty. And one of the things he's been asking you to do is to assert your boundaries. And Mercury is in the mix. So although Mars and Saturn are exact, Mercury is so very close to them. Mercury in Aries can be outspoken, can be passionate about its ideas, but actually Mercury in the seventh house can be good for being more attuned to other people's viewpoints, something you often have a gift for, and that may have been sharpening up your listening skills. But don't be surprised if you do find yourself a little bit more triggered if people aren't listening to you, and quite understandable as well. Also, we have the energy of the new moon still permeating in the background, and of course Chiron was in the mix. And if there have been past hurts and disappointments about relationships, you could be working through them. So Saturn in a conjunction with Mars limits Mars' desire to take that forceful approach quickly, and that can create that boiling over. But also, if we're patient, Saturn, about what we want to do and structure our approach, and for you it could be around your connections to others, something good could come from this. But I just want to briefly take you back to 1998, because there are similarities, not least with Mercury. So if we go back then, Mercury was in retrograde, but it was not quite so tight with this duo, and it was the third rather than first decan, sub-ruled by the buoyant Jupiter. But the moon was in Gemini, the same, and the nodal axis across the two same signs, but just flipped, because the node takes 18.6 years to go through their entire circuit. So then we get the reverse node about 9.8. So we've had one entire circuit plus a half. So fast forwards to now, what was going on in 1998 that may be reflected now in world events? Well, the USSR, now known as the Russian Federation, was basically crumbling, its financial structure completely deteriorating. I think that is on the cusp of happening now, and it's going to get worse there before it gets better. But also, We did have volatility on the Asian stock markets at that time, and we've certainly got volatility on the stock markets at the moment because of what's going on in the Gulf. And you know what's going on in the Gulf is very reflective of Mars conjunct Saturn, because Saturn's about structure, Mars is about someone wanting to assert, but also the seventh house can be where we connect to another person in a forceful way. The first house, which is more of that Aries energy, is very person centered. The seventh house, where we're pushing it outwards. It's a battle of wills, isn't it? So if you're encountering the battle of wills around any kind of partnership at the moment, whether it's professionally, whether it's at home, whether it's within the family, that is why. But what can happen, even for you who prefers things to be on an even keel, the healing that Chiron asked you to do, releasing past hurts and upsets to make yourself more available for connection in the here and now, it's really asking you also not to be too availing to others, because a lot of seventh house energy in a natal chart can make someone very, very pleasant, but it can also make them feel almost invisible to other people. So it's not a time for you to be trying too hard to please people. It's a time for you to be knowing exactly what the tip point is between what you want and what you're prepared to give. And all the experience of Pluto going through Capricorn and the impact for you in your fourth house of emotion is something you can deploy now. That knowledge and experience very helpful to you. But what about the wider implications of this event chart? Well, your ruler Venus is in a fabulous location for long-term finances if you're open to do something different. Jupiter, the planet of luck, right at the top of your chart. Great for work. The moon, very much more to do with how we feel, is in a very escapist part of your chart, but in a potent trine to the position of Pluto. Speaking of which, Pluto and Mars are in an exact sextile. And, well, all but 2 degrees, but that's willpower central. If there is someone you're strongly attracted to at the moment and you really want that relationship, but they too, I don't think there's much that's going to stand in the way of you both. But let's just assume that your relationship picture or your connections to others isn't going quite so well at the moment. How may that play out? Well, you may have to fight Mars to be heard and respected, Saturn. And that might not be easy for you. But just know, with the sun on the cusp of moving into Taurus season, joining up Venus, your ruler, and Uranus, if something does make way, the eighth house can be about ends and beginnings. Something does make way, it's because something will be rebirthed that's better for you. But the thing you must do is keep your self-respect intact. This is not a time to bend over backwards to please other people. It's about saying, this is my minimum requirement. If you don't meet it, I'm moving on. I'm going to summarize those 4 areas for you of energy, work, relationships, and finance next, Libra. But just to say, I've reduced the price of my personal horoscope reports. You can now buy one and get 3 in total. So that's 3 for the price of 1. Why? Because people are feeling the pinch, but also because I'm passionate about sharing astrology with more people. And the life roadmap you pay for is the one that helps you to understand the patterns that have played out in your life so far. The 12 months transit report, the upcoming influence is in the next 12 months, but also your draconic life or karmic or soul chart can give you searing insights into parts of yourself that maybe natal astrology hasn't revealed. So that's pay for 1, get 3 in total. Please see the link below. Now, if you've yet to watch your 84-year Uranus cycle video, that's on the screen. If you've yet to watch your April monthly forecast on the screen, like to work with me directly, please see my testimonials below. Yet to sign up for your daily free horoscope fired to your device each morning, please see that below. Get your celestial pit stop early in the day. And to download that Mars conjunct Saturn workbook, please see below for that. Now, to summarize, if your relationship is based on mutual respect, you don't need to worry about this aspect. Yeah, both of you might be maybe a bit grumpy and irritable. If you are attracted to someone new at the moment, remember all the things you've learned, but it is possible that it could be deeply passionate and it could happen very quickly. Professionally, Jupiter continues through to the end of June in a very strong location for you. As far as your financial situation is concerned, again with Venus and Uranus, being open to different possibilities is good, and partnership might be part of that. But if you're in a partnership at the moment that's bringing you no joy, do have the confidence with the sun moving into your eighth house to release the expectation and demands of that. You will find a way. All the best, Libra. Take care and see you soon.